Welcome back. Continuing our work through Module 4, Topic 2, Lesson 1. We're moving on to Activity 1, the human coordinate plane. Now, in class, we are actually going to have a coordinate plane on the floor, kind of like we did with the human number line, and we're going to have kids come up and stand at different spots on that coordinate plane. For here, we'll have to just kind of work it through here for you. Habits of mind: look for and make use of structure, look for and express regularity and repeated reasoning. So in class, I'm going to have students stand at a certain location, but everyone's also going to have one of these boards. So that doesn't really all fit in the frame here. So they're going to have one of these boards where they will be putting pegs in to represent each of the ordered pairs. So right now I have this peg in at 0, 0, representing the origin. Show you it looks like that. And we'll do some pictures like that every so often, some views of that. Okay, but right now back to our paper, page 571. Okay, so 0, 0, we are going to start as our A. And there's a reason why we're going to do that. So where is 0, 0 at? We know it's over 0 and up 0. So if you could put a dot right there for, I might need to use a colored pen here for you guys to be able to see it. So 0, 0 is also known as our origin, which means it's the beginning, it's the starting point of everything on here. Okay, so we're going to move down to student B. Student B, I'm going to ask them to go stand on the spot of the ordered pair 4, 0. 4, 0. So I'm going to have students write it here on their paper. Then I'm going to have them plot that on their coordinate grid. So 4, 0. Now, how do we know what direction we go for an X? What way do we go when we have a positive 4? Starting at 0, the X is this axis, our horizontal. So a positive direction goes to the right. So we're going to go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the second number in our ordered pair is 0. So we go up or down, but we're going up or down 0, so we don't go up at all. So we're going to put our peg right there. And then on your graph, I want you to come over as well, over to 4, up to 0, and put a dot. We're going to label these. So this is B, this one's A. You're going to have to write kind of small. Can't write gigantic. Okay. Student C is going to put a spot at 0, -2. So put 0, -2 on your chart. And watch me place it here. So 0, -2, again, we always go back to the 0 as our starting point, our origin, our 0, 0. Now, what direction do we travel for, what did I say? 0, -2. So 0, -2. The first number tells us if we're going left or right. So 0 says don't go left or right at all. -2 from here means to go up or down. Right. -2 would be to go down 2, so 1, 2. So right there is my next peg, and we'll put that over here on our graph at 0. So go over 0, down 2, and we're going to label that C. Moving on, student D is going to be at 2, 3, ordered pair 2, 3. So on your coordinate grid, 2, 3. So the 2 is first, that's our X value. So we're going to move on our X axis 2. It's a positive 2. Positives go to the right, so we're going to go over 2. The next value is a positive 3 for our Y value, so we'll go up 3. So over 2, up 3. 1, 2, 3. Right there is our peg. So over 1, 2, up 1, 2, 3. You can't count this one. You have to move first because this is the 0. You didn't go up at all, so it's 0. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, plotting that on our coordinate grid. So over 2 up to 1, 2, 3. That would put it right here. And it's letter D. Excellent. Moving on. Letter E will be -5, 4. -5, 4. So -5, 4. Our x value is -5. So starting again at our beginning, our origin, -5. So on the x, I'll go left this time. -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that puts me here. -5, 4. The 4 is positive, so I will go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll give me a spot right there. Double check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Put it on your graph. Hopefully you've already done that. And let's see if you have it where I put mine. -5 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are labeling that point E. Okay, point F, or student F, is going to be at -2, -3. -2, -3. Starting from our origin, -2. So we go left 2, 1, 2. -3 will have us go down 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's check it. -1, 2. 1, 2, 3 down. So that's 3 negative. So that should be correct. Plotting it on our coordinate plane. Over to -2. Then down to -3. And that will be spot F, or point F. Okay, student G. We are going to have student G go to ordered pair 3, -1. 3, -1. So 3, -1. So the x value is positive. So from the origin, I'll go to the right, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, -1. The y value is negative, so I'm going to go down. So down -1 will put me right there. Put that on your coordinate grid. 1, 2, 3, -1. Sometimes I call it coordinate plane, coordinate grid. All of that can be used interchangeably. You might hear it called the Cartesian coordinate grid or Cartesian coordinate plane. All of those mean what you're looking at here. So that's letter G. Okay, now we're going to actually skip H. And there's a reason for that. We'll come back to H later. Letter I, student I. I want student I to go to -3, 0. Ordered pair -3, 0. So where is that at? -3, 0. So the first value is my x, and I go left and right on my x-axis. Negative would make me go left. 1, 2, 3. Second value is your y, which is 0. So that means don't go up at all. So I'm going to go right there. -3, 0. So -3 goes 1, 2, 3, and not up at all. And this is an I. Excellent. Student J is at 0, 6. Ordered pair 0, 6. Ordered pair 0, 6. So over 0, not going over at all, left or right. 6 is positive, so I'll go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 0, 6. So over 0, up to 6, and that is J. If ever you have to pause going through this, please just take a minute and do that. Turn it back on when you are ready. That's the beauty of doing this on video. At home, you can pause it as you need. Student K will be at 5, 5. Ordered pair 5, 5. So 5, 5. They're both positive. So positive numbers go right and they go up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be right there. Let's just double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. And do that back over here. So that is K. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That does seem to be lining up right there. And we are student K. Student L is at point -2, 3. -2, 3. Need to grab a few more pegs here. -2, 3. So from the origin, -2 will go left, 1, 2. 3 is positive, so up 1, 2, 3. Putting that on my coordinate plane. -2, 1, 2, positive 3, 1, 2, 3. And that is spot L. Spot M. Student M will be at ordered pair -1, -5. Okay, so -1 for my X means I'm going to go left 1. -5 for my Y means I'm going to go down 5. So there's -1 for my X. Now I need to count down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double checking that. Over to -1, and then down to -5. I'm at 0 right now on the X. Or I'm sorry, on the Y, going up and down. I'm at -1 on the X. I'm not up or down at all on the Y, so I'm at 0. So now down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So over to -1, down to -5, and I'm at M. And then the last student is going to be at 5, -6. At 0.5, -6. 5, -6, so the 5 is positive. I go what direction? To the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, -6. I'm going to go down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double check it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's correct. And we'll put it on our coordinate plane. Over to 5 is here. 6 is here. Oh, I didn't mean that stray mark. That is letter N. I'm going to use that for my N. That is my N. Okay, so let's answer some of these questions. It says, where did each student always start? Right, they always started at the origin. How did each student know which direction to go first? So how do you know which direction to go first? Well, in an ordered pair, the first term is what? The first number, we'll call it the coordinate because that's what it is. The first coordinate is X. So the student walked. So on the X is the horizontal, so they walked left or right. Okay, so for this next part, I'm going to have you pause it and think about this for a bit. It says, what do you notice about the coordinates of points that are in the same quadrant? Remember, we labeled this on the last activity. This is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Okay, so what do you notice about the coordinates of points that are in the same quadrant? Please pause and think about that. Look at your coordinate plane. You can use the table as well and come up with something. Write something down, please. Don't just wait for me to fill it out for you. Go ahead and pause and come back then. Okay, so as I'm looking at these points that are in quadrant 1, the ones in quadrant 1 that I see are this D and the K. So D and K are right here. So this was my quadrant 1. They happen to be side by side. D and K are in quadrant 1. So something that I notice about them is that this is 2, 3, and 5, 5. It looks like they both have positive values. Let's look at another quadrant. So we have point E and L in quadrant 2. So quadrant 2 is E and L. What do I notice about those points? Well, on each of those, from the origin, I had to go left first, and then I went up. So I went left and up. Quadrant 1, I went right and up. So going left meant I went into a negative direction first, and those are both negative. And then going up, I went in a positive direction, and those are both positive. Okay, let's keep moving counterclockwise. Remember, this is counterclockwise. Counter means against. So going against the way a clock normally goes, clocks normally go this way. So counterclockwise is this way. Quadrant 3 has F and M, and those are right here. So to get to F and M, I still went to the left. I went in a negative direction first on both of them, and I went down for both, which is also negative. So my ordered pairs should have negatives on both numbers. Negative, 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 negative. They do. All right, what about quadrant 4? I have the G and the N in quadrant 4. So to get to those, I went to the right and down for both of them, right and down. So going to the right is positive and down is negative. So here's my G and N. Right is positive and down is negative. So yeah, that works. So what do you notice about the coordinates of points that are in the same quadrant? We're going to make sure we use the question in our answer. So points in the same quadrant. How can we summarize what we just talked about? So points in the same quadrant have what? Have the same signs we can say on their x and y coordinates. Remember, we're going to use math terminology whenever we can. Okay, so what about these two that don't have a label yet? So B is 4, 0, and I is negative 3, 0. So let's see if we can find those. I'll try a highlighter here quickly. Okay, so B is here, and I is here. So B and I, what do we notice about those? Well, my first value was positive here, but negative here. But in both of them, my second value was 0. And they're both located on the x-axis. So these are on the x-axis. So it looks like when there's a value on the x-axis, its y value will be 0. That's interesting. So I'm just going to put a little note, but we're going to come back to that on another page here. So values on the x-axis, I probably should have said coordinates on the x-axis have 0 as the y value. Yeah, let's say it like that instead. Coordinates on the x-axis have 0 as the y value. That's why I should use pencil. It definitely shows up better for you guys when I write in a colored pen though. So let's check out the other ones, C and J. So C is here, J is here. So C and J. So C is over 0 down 2, J is over 0 up 6. So those are both on the y-axis. So for that, it looks like coordinates on the y-axis have 0 as the, it looks like the x value. Okay, excellent. I'm going to stop there because this video is getting long, and we will pick up page 572 on the next video.